Hi guys, and welcome to my first ace tanker in the AMX AC 48, the Tier 8 French TD. It's a tank I'm enjoying quite a lot. Recently finished upgrading it and got its final engine. I'm not using the final gun, I'm using the second last gun. It's still a pretty good gun, 232 millimeters of penetration, 300 in alpha damage, but I enjoy the slightly faster rate of fire than the final gun. But more importantly, I think the second last gun has much better aim time. So I think it's a story with a lot of the French TDs. I prefer to use the second last gun rather than the final gun, mainly down to the finals guns usually having much longer aim time. But we're here on Live Oaks. It's a 51%er, so a very close game. It's a Tier 9 game, so I'm a Tier 8 and a Tier 9 game. The enemy team are basically have 3 Tier 9s, and the rest of the enemy team are all Tier 8 tanks. We have 4 Tier 9s, but we also have 2 Tier 7s. So it's a fairly close game. Let's go. So I initially decide to head down the 9-0 lines. And most of my team are lemming training. Most of my team are heading over to the city. So it's just the Object 430, the Patton, myself, and an ISU 152 coming south. And in the meantime, we've got a T-32 and an IS-3 who are taking their sweet time getting out of spawn. So the Patton has taken up position in the bush I would have preferred to be using, so I decided to use the one a little bit further back. And I'm not going to get very many shots from this bush. So I'm going to change angles, see whether or not I can get shots on the AMX, but that's not going to happen. Playing around with letting my binocs kick in to see if I could spot anything in the south, or in the swamp. But my team are advancing, and now an Indian Panzer and STA-1 have been spotted, so I decide, okay, we'll hang here for another few moments, see if we can get any more shots. And again, not much to shoot at this Pershing. Pershing is a very good tank for going hull down in. Even though it's a medium tank, you can play it a lot like an American Heavy, go hull down. Its turret armor is quite troll. So I rush that shot. Unfortunately, it goes just over the top of his engine deck. But we are 2 minutes into this game, and I've done absolutely nothing so far. So T-32 and IS-3 have decided to advance and come down this flank. And we still have lots of tanks in town, so no pressure. So T-32 is advancing. T-28 has been spotted, but I've got no shots. And I want to be a little bit cautious here. Okay, Yag Tiger, Carnarvon spotted in the middle. And I do have shots. Don't know why the outline isn't showing up, but I do have shots. So there, we finally done some damage. So I'm going for a couple of blind shots. And finally decide to advance. So the danger on pushing this side of the tracks is if you get spotted, all of those tanks on the ridge along the E line, E1 and E2 will shoot down at you. So AT-15 spotted in the distance, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. These tanks are going to just tear anyone on this side of the railway track alive. So, just going to work on this AT-15. He's at the edge of my view range, and I am shooting through a bush. Fortunately, that shot goes a little bit high. So, blind shot in the AT-15. It did seem to go in. You see that the rate of fire is quite good on this tank, 6.75 seconds, and the aim time, again, is much, much better than it is on the final gun. So we've finally done some damage to the AT-15, and someone else, Artie, takes him out. So still a fairly close game. In fact, we're actually winning. It's 7-8. And our team have one town, and they're basically pushing. But there are a lot of tanks on the ridge in front of them. So at the moment there was only a T-28 prototype spotted down here. And I noticed that the rest of the tanks down here with me are on fairly low health. So I decide just to go for it. So I take out the T-28 prototype, move into cover behind the Rex. And we've just lost 3 tanks in quick succession. So, bounce on the rear of the Jagdtiger 88. Trying to set him on fire. Not much to aim at. Unfortunately, this AT-15 wreck is in the way, and I only managed to track the Tiger II. So change angle, have the side of his turret, have the rear of his tank, take him out for kill number 2. Waffenträger has now been spotted. And how I wish that shot had gone in. So, get the rear of a Caernarvon. Trying to go for track shots. But basically our team, were decimated. All the guys who went into town and tried to advance against the camping tanks, they're all dead. So the enemy team have all of a sudden pulled this back. It was turning into a very comfortable win, and the enemy team have pulled it back. And our Patton has just been killed. I go for a pre-aim on the Caernarvon. Trying to help our Object 430. He's a one-hit kill. But someone is blind firing. And the Tiger P has been taken out. So things are not looking so good. Unfortunately, again, that shot goes a little bit high. Really need to be hitting these shots. The game is too close to be missing shots. So I need to go help this object. The Tiger P that was in town is now dead. So it's just the two of us and Artie. Whoops. Almost a fail. Fortunately, the object is in my way. Bounce a shot on his side, and like I said, I can't afford to be missing these shots. So get a shot in, set him on fire. I have been spotted, and there is enemy Artie still in play. Thankfully, the Object 430 takes him out. Caernarvon is a one-hit kill, so there's a chance my blind shots on the Caernarvon did go in, or maybe Artie hit him. So just edging forward, trying to use these bushes. Decide I need to knock down the wall. And again, I'm going to try and use these bushes to stay safe or unspotted. I'm moving because if RT was pre-aiming and saw the wall breaking, he might decide to go for a shot. Okay, enemy Jagdtiger has advanced up to our spawn. I know there's a Carnarvon there, but the Carnarvon is on low health. He's a one-hit kill for the Object 430, and our RT has just been destroyed, so while the Object 430 sits and waits for the Carnarvon, I've got to go back and I've got to defend. So I take a risk and decide to head along the railway tracks to get back quicker rather than heading down. And it gets me spotted. And the Waffenträger gets one big shot into me. He's obviously still sitting in the swamp, or fairly near to where he was last spotted, but I've got to ignore him. And unfortunately, I can't help the object. So that one hit from the Waffenträger Panzer IV has taken over half my health. One of the big problems with Tier 8 TDs is the fact they don't have a lot of health. Most of them are 2-hit kills for a lot of Tier 9 and most Tier 10 tanks. So I've got my fingers crossed that the object can at least kill one of those guys down there. I've got to go back and defend. Only 15 seconds left. So I've been spotted, but that's okay. Spotted the Jagdtiger. Aim as long as I can. Reset the cap. But unfortunately, the Waffenträger takes out the object. So again, miss that shot. RT is going for me. RT is still in play. It is 1v4. So I need to kill this Jagdtiger 88 as quickly as possible before RT can reload and before the other two tanks can move up behind me. So thankfully my armor is holding out. Now I was using premium ammo to take out that Jagdtiger 88. I've gone back to regular AP. And RT finishes me off, almost finishes me off. I'm down to 90 hit points. So I know that the Carnarvon and Waffenträger are probably, at least I'm guessing, they're probably moving up the 9-0 lines behind me. So what I want to do is I want to change the angle. I want to actually relocate over to B4, B5 and point back towards spawn. At least that's my plan. But I'm on 3 kills, 3.3k damage. But if anyone sneezes in my direction, I'm going to die. So again, I want to get into town undetected and set up an ambush. So I'm gonna make it. And just spotted RT, and unfortunately RT has just spotted me. So he's in a dip. I don't really have shots. Okay, he's coming up. Maybe I can finish him off before the other tanks arrive. So I've dropped off radar. He's dropped off radar. I'm gonna sit here, let my binocs kick in, see if I can spot him, and there we go. And rush that shot, miss it, and again, that's another shot I really, really wish I could have hit. So pre-aim that one better. Need to kill him quickly, and unfortunately, his building gets in the way. So now he's behind cover, can't get a shot, but I've been spotted, and I know that the enemy tanks are probably moving in on my position. And I figure that they're probably going to be coming from the 9-0 lines. They're probably on the AB lines chasing me. But I've got to take a risk. So there's a tank capping again. It is probably Arty, and I decide I'm going to move up, use these bushes here, and maybe kill Arty from stealth. He's at the very, very edge of my view range. Need to push up and let my binocs kick in. And I spot him. I don't have anything to shoot at. So I go for a shot, take him out for kill number 4. And unfortunately it gets me spotted. And the Waffentrager happened to be sitting right in the middle of the swamp. So I mentioned recently I picked up a lot of ace tankers on defeats, and I brought you the 112 and I brought you the AMX M445. This was the third ace tanker I picked up on a defeat. Thankfully I haven't picked up any other ace tankers on defeats since then, but this was the third, and those games were all played within a day or two of each other. But still fairly happy with my first ace tanker in this tank. It's not bad. In fact, I'm quite enjoying it. I don't know whether I'm going to keep it, but it's okay. As I say, I much more enjoy playing it with the second last gun, because even though the aim time is not fantastic, the aim time on the second last gun is much, much better than the final gun. So, ace tanker. I also picked up defender. Finished top on XP with 1291 XP, 4,419 damage and 4 kills. I fired 30, hit 20 and penned 18, and I was very disappointed with that. I know a lot of the shots were at long range, and I did get some nice shots in, but really the gun on this TD is much, much better than that, and it probably didn't give it a good showing. I spotted 1, damaged 7, destroyed 4, did 670 assistance damage and 158 base defense points. Unfortunately, because I did have to fire some premium at the Jagdtiger, I ended up making not very much profit at all. 7,000 profit made in that game. Ammo costs are quite expensive. 1936 XP with a premium account. Wasn't my first game of the day, but there was a bonus going on, so finished up with 3,388 XP. So I do enjoy the AMX AC 48, but as I say, the biggest negative, and it's not just a negative for this tank, it's a negative for a lot of tier 8 TDs, is the fact it only has 1,000 hit points, and that basically makes you a 2-hit kill for most tier 8s with high caliber guns, pretty much most tier 9s, and definitely a 1 or 2 hit kill for a lot of tier 10s. So really the hit points let the tank down, but other than that, it's a pretty solid machine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.